3, 2, 1. Yo, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy Nixie coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. I want to show you guys how you can get some of those really airy, mainstream, breathy vocals without harshness. Of course, we understand that if you do got a little bit of harshness in that vocal, don't matter how crystal clear it sounds, don't matter how nice that glass is looking like, if you touch it, that mirror, you touch it and it cuts you, nobody cares because it's hurting them. So let's look at this today. How do I like to achieve bright vocals in a different way? Let's not waste no time. Let's get on the grind and let's see what gems we can find. Okay.
The wood. Might take a perky or two. Bet don't be worried about me, I'm good. I'm getting that bread as I should. I'ma just follow my dreams, yeah. Every week I'm in the stool. I know they ain't believing me, but I'ma show them with the truth. Put a 3-5 in the wood. Might take a perky or two. Bet don't be worried about me, I'm good. I'm getting that bread as I should. I'ma just follow my dreams, yeah. Every week I'm in the stool. I know they ain't believing me, but I'ma show them with the truth. Geeking all night out the boot. My girl telling me it ain't cute, but she know I'm...
Okay, so if you guys do appreciate this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and drop more video suggestions. How do I achieve bright mainstream vocals? So the very first thing that we got to think about when it comes to getting vocals is understanding your type of vocal, understanding your foot. Before you put them Air Force Ones on, you got to know what size do you want them to be. Do you want them to be low cut or high cut Air Force Ones? You know, how you finna rock them, how you finna lace them. You got to understand that your foot is similar to your voice, that you have to find out something that can mold to your style. Okay, so that's coming down to the microphone you use, understanding your voice and how the microphone can capture your voice. So usually, me personally, I like to use the UAD sphere microphone. Take some time, look at the microphone that you're rapping into, look at the frequency response. Maybe there's a dip, you know, at a certain place that's not allowing you to get that mainstream sound, and when you mix, you got to do a counter move. So do a little research, look at what type of microphone you got, you know, and then look at the frequency response and kind of judge from there. That's kind of like your starting point. You know, it's kind of like when you're trying to have a mainstream vocal, it's kind of like a treasure map. You know, you're trying to go hunt for the treasure and dig up shit, you feel me? But you got to understand, where is the starting point on the map? Do you have a microphone that's rolling off the top end with like a little filter? Or do you have a microphone that's like boosting certain parts that's kind of, you know, making it sound off, you know, or boosting maybe the low end? And that's why it's kind of like giving a little foggy type of sound. Understand your microphone. The microphone I like to use is the UAD Sphere. And I love using the king of fresh vocals, the king of mainstream vocals, hip hop, which is the Sony C800G preset. And of course, the Sony C800G, very, very, very popular microphone. But I don't like vocals that sound too bright. How do I prevent the harshness? I literally put the eyeball on top of my microphone. That's the reason why you guys always see me putting a ball on top of my microphone, is that's my little trick to how I get bright vocals. What do you mean, Nick? When I'm in the studio working with people, some people like to really get on top of the goddamn microphone, right? So I like to use the ball, because the thing about the ball is that you can't really get on the microphone because you have this piece of foam that's blocking you, you know, especially late night in the studio when people drunk and all that stuff like that, they like to get right up on the microphone, like they're kissing it. You feel me, like that? So that's something to always understand. Looking at the artist, look at how they're rapping into the microphone, because if they're too on top of the microphone, you might not have the chance to, you know, really go in there and start boosting that bit how you want to. So the microphone that you pick is a way to get, you know, the bright vocals. Okay, let me show you another gem. A great way of getting bright vocals is a saturation. So personally, I like to use this plugin right here, Spectre. I'm gonna do a dedicated video on this, but how do I use the Spectre, right? This is not using EQ, is using saturation. So I like to, you know, saturate maybe somewhere around the 4 or 5K area, and, you know, also do a shelf using saturation as well to get vocal brightness.
The wood. Might take a perky or two. Bet don't be worried about me, I'm good. I'm getting that bread as I should. I'ma just follow my dreams, yeah. Every week I'm in the stool. I know they ain't believing me, but I'ma show them with the truth. Put a 3-5 in the wood. Might take a perky or two. Bet don't be worried about me, I'm good. I'm getting that bread as I should. I'ma just follow my dreams, yeah. Every week I'm in the stool. I know they ain't believing me, but I'ma show them we the truth. Jiggle, geeking all night out the boot. My girl telling me it ain't cute, but she know I'm gonna do what I do.
So this plugin right here is a little gem, especially when you do this little move right here. This will give you a little bit of paper bag. This will, you know, be like an airhead and blow up the whole situation a little bit more. You feel me? Like that. It will kind of you know, inflate the bike tire, which is the vocal. Okay, cool. So of course, you know, my counter move too on my EQ, my first layer EQs, I'm doing a high shelf too, right? This is like doing a high shelf on EQ, and this is like doing the same move but on saturation. So of course I like to do a little dip down at the 4.5K to prevent the harshness, but then it's kind of like a pull tech. I'm boosting and cutting, but one is EQ, the other one is saturation, adding a little bit of density to the air of the vocal. But through saturation, it's a lot better. And with the Spectre, you get tube, you get tape, you know, all of these different types of saturation have, you know, kind of a different sound to them. But I went with tube because we all know that tubes have an organic type of brightness. The last way that I like to get some breathy, airy vocals is, you know, hot air balloon type of vocals, you know, in the sky type of vocals, you know, ozone type of vocals, is I like to use parallel compression. Oh, wow. So parallel compression is another great way to get breathy vocals. I like to use this trick from Andrew Sheps himself. So this is a trick where, you know, you could copy the settings. You get a pull tech, you get an LA2A, and then you get another goddamn pull tech, all right? Just like this, and it's gonna give you a really crispy McDonald's French fries, you know, McChicken right off the grill type of crispy type of sound. And, you know, you can copy the settings. This is the first one, this is the compressor, and then this is another EQ. So let's listen to it with and without, using parallel compression to get breathy, airy vocals.
The wood, might take a perky or two. Bet don't be worried about me, I'm good. I'm getting that bread as I should. I'ma just follow my dreams, yeah. Every week I'm in the stool. I know they ain't believing me, but I'ma show them we the truth. Put a 3-5 in the wood, might take a perky or two. Bet don't be worried about me, I'm good. I'm getting that bread as I should. I'ma just follow my dreams, yeah. Every week I'm in the stool. I know they ain't believing me, but I'ma show them we the truth. Jiggle, geeking all night out the boot. My girl telling me it ain't cute, but she know I'm gonna do what I do. Said I changed, but I lied, it ain't true. I got a monkey on my back, I got a baddie on my lap. I got a perky in my pocket. When she ain't looking, I'ma pop it. She gon' love me as I am, co-regardless on the man.
Most important thing to think about with this trick is the, you know, the sidechain, you know, on the LA2A. And LA2A itself has tubes, you know, like how I showed you. You know, I used the tube on the Spectre, the pull tech, the LA2A. All of those three things in my parallel chain all have tubes. Understanding the components of these goddamn analog plugins can make your life a lot easier. Tubes give brightness. Maybe you want to start using more, you know, tube-orientated plugins, okay? So look. LA2A, that bit has a sidechain filter right here, right? And it's no longer looking at the whole, you know, the whole signal evenly, right? It's not looking at the booty. It's starting to look a little bit up top. It's starting to look at the hair. It's starting to look at the face. When you lean this, you know, this little screw over to the right, what it's doing is it's making the compressor react more to the high-end frequency, you know, so it's still doing the compression everywhere. It's just reacting more. It's paying attention more to the face, the hair, everything up top, the shape of the head of the signal, you feel me? So that's pretty much the end of the video I got here today. Short and simple, a couple of great gems on how to get some breathy, airy, mainstream vocals, you know. So if you guys do like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop some comments down below, more video suggestions. Appreciate y'all now, YouTube. Peace.